All right, we are back in the garage. Let's get this thing opened up. I need to go to the other side, actually. Duh. Let's get this hood popped up. Oh, that's heavy. All right. I need to get that light fixed. I think it's my battery. I think if I change the battery, this light will work. It goes on and off sometimes, but it's very dimly lit now. All right, so this is just gonna be a quick video for pretty much anybody that wants to buy one of these Corvettes. This is a 2000 C5 Corvette right here. Basically, if you're an OG, you probably don't need to watch this video. You probably already know everything. I'm talking about the Corvette OGs. This is for people that maybe wanna buy one or they're interested in buying one. So these are just a couple of the big things you really have to look out for when you buy one of these cars, or if you're going like for a test drive or something like that. I have had this car for a little over a year now, so I feel like I'm pretty much inclined to talk about some of the issues that it has. Okay, so the first thing is gonna be pretty obvious. If you are going to test drive one of these, make sure you check the tires, check the date code for the tires, see how old these tires are. They don't change the tires on these. I got this car with 20-year-old tires and the previous owner was just driving it around. I don't know how, but that's what he was. I mean, the tread was decent, but they were 20 years old. Check the date code. It was like August of like 2000 or something like that. I don't remember, but check the date code. It should be right here, dot. Come all the way over. I think, if I remember correctly, I don't think this is the month. I think this is the week of the year, and that is the year that the tires were made. So these are 2023. Check that for any car, not just these, but these usually have very, very old tires on them, especially if you have a low mileage Corvette. It probably has really old tires on them, so check that. Check the battery. Battery will have a date on it, usually, especially these red tops, usually has a date on it, sticker. This is February of 2023. So check the battery, make sure the battery's good. Or else you might end up stranded on the side of the road if you turn the car off while you're driving it home, which hasn't happened to me, but I do know a few people that it has happened to. Just old batteries, you fix the battery and everything works. But if you have any kind of battery issue with this car, it's probably gonna cause a couple of minor issues, kind of like this light right here. But mind you, this is a 2-year-old battery, and we have a couple of small electrical issues. So probably got to replace that. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, this one's gonna be a bit interesting. So obviously you have a front defrost and a rear defrost. This piece right here, that's your rear defrost. Be careful, because some of these cars have a basically a short. I don't want to call it a malfunction. I'm assuming it's some sort of electrical short that happens in the rear defrost. It will cause this back window to blow out on you, I promise. So if you want to use the defrost on this car, just be careful and maybe don't put it on full heat in the middle of the winter and it's really cold outside. Usually that works for, you know, most cars, but these windows are pretty old, so it's just something to keep in mind. My back window blew out on this thing, so I never use this anymore. Just kind of scared. So, and you can't get these anywhere. You have to wait a long time to get these windows if you ever do get them replaced. So keep that in mind. We got the pop-ups. These are motors for the pop-ups. They're on both sides. There's a cover right here. This pops off, and you can adjust this light to come up if you needed to. So you just spin this either way and the light will go up or down. So these motors do have a tendency to go out. Depends on how old your car is, or if, you know, the motors are kept in good condition, or, you know, whatever. I've had so many issues with these motors though. So just another minor thing that you want to, you know, just double check on, because messing with these motors are a pain in the ass. Most of the time, one will come up and the other won't, or, you know, it's really finicky. It's a really finicky system, but when it works, it looks pretty good. You need to make sure that these belts and fluids, make sure you check those. Oil, coolant, make sure you check the fluids. Most of the time, these cars are gonna be sitting in garages for who knows how long. We tend to keep these cars for a long time, or I'd say most people tend to keep these for quite a while. If you're buying one that's completely stock, the owner's probably had it for God knows how long. I got this car with everything 20 years old on it. Belts, 20 years old. Fluids, I'm sure he did a couple oil changes here and there, but I got the car with 50,000 miles on it. Especially if it's low mileage, make sure you check that. I had to change the belts, drain the fluids, and, you know, get all that refreshed and up to date. So again, you need to check that with pretty much any car you're gonna buy, but since these are really old and not driven as often as most regular cars, just something that you wanna check to avoid any major engine damage. All right, this one is pretty important. Tensioner, you wanna check the tensioner. You want to make sure that it's not something you can easily push. If you put a lot of force into it, you can move it a little bit because it's on a spring, but you wanna make sure that this piece is about in the middle there. If it's here, it's too tight, which it may not ever be there, but you don't want it to be down here, or you don't want it to be flopping around, you know, moving all willy-nilly. So that's one thing you need to check. If you see that that's loose, you might wanna tow it if you're not driving too far, but for the most part, check it. Make sure you know what's going on with the car before you start driving it, and you'll be good to go. Okay, this one is pretty important, especially if you're driving this car for the first time, or maybe if it's your first sports car, you probably need to know this. These early 2000s models, I think the C5 goes from 98 to, I think there were some in 97. I don't remember, but I know it goes from 98 to like 2004, I believe. This is a 2000 model year. For the 98s to the 2000 model year, you're gonna have a TC issue. There's gonna be two lights here, or maybe they're down there, I don't remember. You'll see two lights pop up and it'll say like service, traction, or something like that. You have no traction if that light's on. It's not gonna be something that you can fix with the 2000 model year and prior. You're not gonna be able to fix that issue unless you get that module replaced. You can't fix it. And they're really hard to come across and they're expensive. So you're just not gonna have traction. It comes on sometimes and other times it'll stay off. Most of the time you will not have traction. That is pretty important because you need traction if you want to be doing a bunch of crazy stuff. I usually just run no traction. I know this car pretty well. I don't want to say I'm like a race car driver or a good driver or anything, but I know this car pretty well. Lost traction in it plenty of times, but we're still here. So, and that is your active handling or TC button. You can turn it off. That'll go into like competition mode and stuff like that. It'll show up here. But since mine's always off, I usually never have traction. Just something that you want to consider. If traction is a big thing to you, then you probably want to get the 2001 C5 and up to, I think it was 2004. Those can be fixed and replaced. The 2000 and prior cannot. So just keep that in mind. And you know what? While we're in here, these have a tendency to go out. Obviously, this is your AC. The light in here will go out. For some people, that means that you can't control your AC. In my case, my light is dimming. I don't have my keys, but my light's dimming and it's basically out, but I still have access to control my AC and heat. This is an easy fix. You can just, there's YouTube videos on this. You can pull this out. There's something you can like resolder, but it's an easy fix, or you can just get it replaced, either or. Most people just take all this out and get like the big iPad anyway, the iPad screen anyway. So that's up to you, but just something to keep in mind. Another small issue, but I live in Florida and I need AC, so I need to make sure that's working at all times. You really want to check the harmonic balancer on these. They do have a tendency to go out. So if I'm on the passenger side of the car, if we go under here, that little circular thing right there, yep, this right here, that's your harmonic balancer. It's gonna spin. So while the car's on and that's spinning, it comes loose and it wobbles a lot. That can cause some nasty, nasty engine problems. So make sure once you turn the car on, while that's spinning, it's not severely wobbling like it's gonna fall out. It's gonna wobble a little bit, but that's normal because it's a circle, it's spinning, it's not, you know, stuck in place. It's gonna have a slight, tiny, tiny wobble to it. But I mean, like, if it's like, you know, if it looks sketchy, then there's a problem. But since it's spinning, it's gonna have a little bit of rotation to it. It has a lot of power going to that. So a lot of people do ask about those in forums and stuff. They're like, hey, is it time to replace this? It's wobbling a little bit, but it's like, no, you know, it's fine. It's supposed to have a little bit of movement because it's, you know, it's an engine. So that's what we're dealing with. But yeah, the harmonic balancer, that's probably the most important thing to look for if you're buying one of these. Obviously, there's a lot of other small issues that you can look at. Obviously, if you have one of these tools, you can just plug it in. Honestly, if you don't have one of these, you probably need to get one. It's just a regular OBD scanner. If you found a C5 that is in good condition, it was taken care of by the previous owners, and you know, maybe it's sitting in the garage, maybe they don't drive it as often, whatever the deal is, even if it has, you know, if it has 100,000 something miles on it, if it's in relatively good condition, then these are the things that you want to check. If it looks like a then you're gonna have a whole load of other problems that you need to check. I can't get up under the car right now, but these cars do have a pretty minor issue where the bushings, the suspension bushings basically die and they will need to be replaced. So you'll probably hear like a squeaking sound on either the driver's side rear or passenger rear, or maybe both. Right now I have one on the driver's side rear that's squeaking. It's not anything too bad right now. I mean, the car still drives fine. It just squeaks when you go over certain things. It probably means that your bushings need to be replaced. I haven't checked if it's maybe I mean, there's a lot of different bushings that you can check under there. I haven't checked to make sure which one it is. So I still need to buy a whole kit for that and just replace every single bushing I could find under there pretty much. So that's what I'm gonna do. But that's another small issue. Again, there's so many small issues with these cars. They're old cars. So honestly, I'd say if you do want to get a C5, maybe think about buying it, but also having like 5 to 10 grand just put aside for any issues, because this thing will leave you stranded on the side of the road at some point in its life. It happens to all of us. It's an old car, it's gonna happen. But you wanna make sure that you have something put aside so that you can fix it up. Mainly harmonic balancer issues, if that hasn't already been replaced. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So again, let me let this down. Yeah, overall, these are nice cars. They're really fun to drive. And if you take care of it, it's gonna take care of you. A lot of different things. Even you know, the weather stripping, pretty old on these cars. That needs to be replaced eventually. You know, they kind of crumble out and they're not as effective. Some people even have leaks. Just another small issue. There's so many, but I just gave you the big ones to check if you are thinking about getting one of these. So make sure you check those and you won't be surprised by the fact that something's going crazy. This is just a quick video. Those are the things that you need to check. I think those are the biggest things that you need to check. Like most common issues. I'm not talking about, you know, super major random issues that one Corvette might have. These are just the basic, well-known issues that you need to check. So that's all we got.